in my own secondary school. See Mr. What's his name? Say Mr. Jayola. So this music was talking about those things that people, children does then. I don't know if it still happens though. I don't know. But so that's what the music is talking about. That's Jello Simi from Brimo. Brimo. I've forgotten his Oriki. There's one Oriki we used to call him. So now let's go back to what we are discussing. Right. We've talked about the education sector or the difference between education and schooling. Mr. Pleasant told us that there's difference between education and schooling. There's difference between Molosi school now and you are educated. Only Losi school go more educated though. Yeah, there are some people they even have masters. They even have all this thing, but they will still behave PhD. Some kind of they will behave. They have this some character that you have like Professor Lenny in masters in in fact, that you just look at it like. In fact, okay, now let's look at this thing. Some of our politicians, sometimes we just say like he lost his school.
Can't you see the way forgery is rampant?
Yes, now they say that the forge.
Offered NYSC, offered certificates, everything.
They just want to see that they go to school, not that they are educated. Now, apart from that, what's it called? Now, I still talk about this thing this morning, bubbling bee. That I said, why would they put what's it called, curfew in the night for COVID-19? Now, as an educated person, let's just look at it. We as in.
COVID-19 will fly in the night.
COVID-19 lost Fiji. You allow us to be working in the day, then lock us down in the night. I didn't understand.
Very funny.
Just look into that. Anybody that's listening to me from the government, look into that.
No, I want to even ask Mr. Pleasant, based on this government matter, have you gotten your NIN? The national identity number?
No, we are working on it.
I hope the queue is not much in this.
It's terrible.
We are working on it. Okay.
It's everywhere.
Everything in Nigeria is we are working on.
Don't worry, I will borrow you my phone when they block your line. I will borrow you my own phone. All right, so let's move on to the next question now. Bubbling bee.
Right. Okay, Mr. Pleasant, you talked about AFED. Can you tell us about that association and what they are doing in the educational sector in Nigeria?
All right. AFED, as I've said, AFED. The full meaning of AFED is Association for Formidable Educational Development.
Okay.
All they are doing is all about education. This association is being led by Mr. Oji Kano Emmanuel. You see, Oji Kano Emmanuel, even when we elected him, I elected him not on the ground of tribalism. Because I knew something I have seen in him that he's capable of doing it. That's why I elected him. You understand? So if you have studied someone and you know what and what can he do, let him do that. We are all created for different purposes. Something you can do, Mr. Cash can do, but maybe may not be able to do. But what you can do as well, I may not. So we let people do what they are good at, what they are created for. So sometimes you may even school on a topic on a course, but you are good at something else. That thing may not be in course at all. Let that person do that thing, what he knew how to do best. So that is Mr. Oji for you. He is very good. Even right now we are on voting, but they are trying to vote for some people that have been doing good in the educational sector. So is it worth it? You understand? So for you to know that he has gone far. So Association for Family Educational Development is an association that is doing mainly on education. That even our logo is education for all. That's for those that are even out of school. Let them have education. Try as possible. Sometimes ago we were ordered to go out on the street. Pick any child you can as charity. Just let him school. Give him education so that he can have future. Because those children, if they don't have future today, if they don't have education today, they will become problem to you that have tomorrow. So that is what AFED is doing.
Do you see now? That's why I told you before we start this program that AFED discussed Eleni. Me. If you meet someone on the way, I'll be like, "Kije family, me
Yes, so-
You don't know who knows who and who knows who and who knows who that know that person that knows you.
So do good though.
That guy that snatch your purse, should be is because he doesn't have education,
Yes.
or maybe he doesn't have future. And you think that I have future now? To buy any future, my best I'm a guru. I'm a fee. I
Mr.
need
Cash
future.
just made the point there as Mr. Pleasant
For sure,
said.
I want for sure. Future come on, Kuba fisher.
So that's what Mr. Pleasant is trying to explain to us. All right, a big booster for AFED. Booster.
Bosa. Okay, like Mr. Pleasant just said, if you're a school owner and you're listening to us, so how do you go about this AFED? Sorry, I'm asking because I want to compare it to something.
Okay.
Aside charity, what else do they do?
You mean AFED?
Yes, for Nigeria, what are those things you can point out to say this is what AFED has done?
AFED has really, because AFED stand as a body, as a coverage. That myself and yourself, when you say government is a very big body that only you cannot just say, I want to see government, I want to see government, I want to see government. But that should be a body representing you, telling you that government say we should do this, telling government also that government, this is what we want.
Okay.
So AFED is an intermediary within us and government.
So they do charity work. They also lead school. They make sure schools follow government policy.
They give information, every necessary information you need to run a school.
Okay. So do boarding schools also belong to AFED Association?
If they wish,
they can
because
join.
AFED don't say that you don't join. Even approved school and unapproved school are in AFED.
Okay.
If they wish, all they want, the major thing they want in AFED, they get in AFED is information, and information is key. Whatever you do, if you don't have information, you are not doing anything.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So now let's go to the major discussion of the day.
Right.
We want to talk about this boarding school something. What are the risks there? And okay, now if someone attend boarding school, should we call it like an achievement, or should we say that
is the person privileged?
No, just like someone is living in Nigeria, easy to live in Nigeria. So because of way, like I said in the morning, that when we get to heaven, God will even give us preferential treatment. That these people are coming from hell.
Nigeria.
Don't let them go to hell again. Now, so if someone attended boarding school, should we say, low boy, bomoje, try, or we should say that no, kilo and bay. There's no, like, is there any big deal in attending boarding school?
Well, I can say no big deal, but there should be a big deal. You see, boarding school, as I've said earlier, boarding school should have been the best for every student, whoever want to attend school, because whatever you want to do, you need concentration. But boarding school of these days, so I would say everything and day school and boarding school are the same. In fact, sometimes day school these days is far better than boarding school. Of which boarding school should have been the best. Let the child pay concern. But if a child attends school, there are some time, if in 24 hours a day of every human, if you attend school for 10 hours, for instance, what about the remaining 14 hours? How do you spend it? So in boarding school, who are the people you are having your time with? Who are the people you are relating with there? Parents should know. Even the school management should as well know. So that's why I say boarding school should have been the best. There's no difference, no big deal. But it's being run as it's supposed to. Boarding school should have been the best. Yes.
So there's no big deal in boarding school. It's just that you will not come home to come and go and kill a goosey. You will not come home, they will send you around up and down. Come and wash plates. Come and do. You will still do all that in a boarding school. So, but of recent, do you listen to news that about this boarding school saga, about this deeper life boarding school in the news? So now
malnutrition and everything.
Because see, there's one thing I believe that if anything make it to the news, there has been hundred thousands of that kind of thing that has been happening.
Yes.
That single one just happened to
So now
all those kind of things, let's talk about. Oh, okay. Just give us anything you know about those kind of things that happen. Or have you heard of those kind of things? Have you seen it? Or has anybody reported that to you? Or even your your affed? Yes.
No. You see, this thing that happened, that issue, it's not the first time that is happening, but that occurrence, the way it happened, I was not happy about what is happening concerning that issue, because when that issue happened, it's very terrible. We are not happy with it. But something that we have to understand is that, you see, that issue itself, the reason why it happened is just because a carelessness of a thing is involved. If not so, you see, those that are supposed to be the management of boarding school, you have to cross-check them very well. They have to be 100% godly, because they will be the parent, they will be the caregiver, they will be the teacher, they will be the everything of that child. And there's one parable, there's one proverb in Arabic language. It said, "Izma kana al-murabbu yakunu al-murabba." Someone that train you, however that person is, the same as you will be. So that issue, reason why it happened is because some demons have come into the sector, because those that devote themselves to be an educationist, they have purpose, they have reason. But if something like that happened, that something has gone wrong somewhere. They never mean to do so.
Okay.
They never mean to do so.
Now,
what is happening?
Now, should we say the problem or the fault is from the parents or from the school, or from the person the school put in charge? Because I happened to visit one boarding school around a year before, that I said they have a house. Is it house master or every child is appointed to one person. There's one person that will be in charge of maybe house master. I forgot because I've not attended boarding school before, but I know that there's someone, even if you want to take food to that child, you will give it to that person. That person will so now, should we say it's the problem of the child, or I mean the fault of the child, or the fault of the house master, or the fault of the school in general, or the fault of the parent? If there is kind of malnutrition and all these things happen.
You see, the problem may come from anywhere, and we all, myself, yourself, and everyone, we have to examine it ourselves. You see, issue of that molestation that happened, not the first time that is happening, but the reason why it happened, it can be a kind of carelessness that happened, because every child is assigned to a master that will be taking care, knowing every on and off of that child. Now, this thing that happened, I from the news I listened to, so I heard that the child was taken to somewhere to where he's not supposed to. So, and while the senior ones are molesting him, of which is not supposed to be so. Those people that are molesting, they are supposed to be the one to take care of that child. If for instance, now you see what is happening in Nigeria today is because look at it's happening at home. The parent, you can imagine that a parent, a father, and a child, his own child of like maybe 10 years, 11 years, and so, they will be molesting those children. It's happening in Nigeria, but I noticed that it's government that is not doing enough. Government is trying, but they are not doing enough. You see, because we have quality assurance. They cross-check everything that is happening.
Yes,
so they will be the one to hold the management responsible, and they, from investigation, they will get where exactly the problem is coming from. But I would say major part of it do come from parents.
Wow.
Because the child you are bringing to school, if you train that child very well, what teacher want to train in your child is not as what you have done into your children. So the issues do come from parents. But for this issue now, God knows. But it's management of the school that have to take care of that very well. Because every child in that boarding school is under their care. whatever happened to that child, they are to be responsible for it.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Pleasant. If you are just joining us, this is Upfront on Early Jolly Drive, and we are talking about boarding school. Is it